Arty Peg, all right?
What's up, everybody? It's the Arty 84 show live here, episode 65. Just getting myself situated over here. We're back from last week's experimental show.
Yes.
Which got rave reviews.
Lots
of people found it very entertaining. I was shocked. Considering she didn't have any prep. It's fucking thing's all fucked. She didn't have any prep. Suze, that is, who took over the show last week, if you didn't watch it. Her, Adam, and Doubleback pretty much ran the show. No prep, just walked in and carried on the show for an hour. Impressive, I guess you could say.
It was.
I think she could do it. She did it.
Yeah.
This is episode 65. We are here. I have to say, there's a show that I've been listening to on XM. I finally got my XM subscription back, right? Mm-hmm. Called Cavino and Rich.
Cavino and Rich?
Yeah, it's a Spanish guy and a white guy.
Sounds like a sex pose.
And they call themselves CNR, which is very close to TNR.
Yeah, they're very, yeah.
And this show is exactly like our show. There's no reason we cannot be on XM. We are way more entertaining than the show.
There's nothing like...
There's no guidelines.
Just talk around about bullshit.
They just talk about banging broads and fingering, and they say fuck, and they talk about their balls.
Huh.
And the two of them argue all the time. Huh. It's almost exactly... And then there's this other guy that was... Spooner, who's the producer. It's basically like when me, you, and Adam... me, you, and Eric would do the show together. And two of us would be arguing, the other one would be the mediator. This is basically what this show is. And they're simulcast all over fucking XM.
They must know somebody. They must have
there's
some in there.
It's been on since the show's been on since XM started, like 14 years ago.
Oh, that's why. So back then was when XM was the pain in the ass
But
days when they didn't have anybody.
So I have made a point that I am recording a demo for this show and I'm sending it to XM. There's no reason we cannot be on XM.
Okay, that's got to be an episode that we have bits planned, and we're not just sitting around. I'll have to have a point to...
Well, no.
We'll have to have like a...
They need 5 minutes.
That's it?
That's all you do for a demo. 5 minutes of our greatest material.
All right, you're going to find...
The last time we had this, we met a guy named Eli on fucking Facebook who came down, and we bought him breakfast, and then he never talked to us again.
Most downloaded episode, though.
Most downloaded fucking episode we have ever had.
He told
Eli.
all his friends about it.
He must have. I don't know, man. It's like over a few hundred. It's like almost 1,000 downloads.
He's got a big dick. That's what it is.
Maybe. He's so awkward, that kid. So weird.
He's extremely awkward.
And we brought him on to do exactly what I want to do, but I've decided that I'm going to do it because there is no reason whatsoever that we cannot be famous. I don't even want to be famous. I just don't want... How fun would it be to just do radio every day? Get paid for it.
I just want to be humble. I'm humble. I'm simple.
I am happy if my bills are paid.
Exactly.
You know? That's all that matters. I just reconsolidate my student loans.
How'd that go?
Great. In 2038, they'll be paid off.
Oh, wow. You're...
So,
right around the corner.
They said, congratulations, you have 19 years and 11 months to your payments done.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So, August of 2038, when I'm...
your kids will be...
54 years old, my 10 years of education will finally be paid off.
That's perfect, because then you can start... By that time, they probably have kids and your kids' college. So
exactly. Well, 20 years? Well, yeah, very easily I could have a kid going to college in 20 years, as I'm paying off my fucking debts.
That's so...
The funny thing is, it's like, oh, it's $153, and then, another $153,000 for you're paying for the loan.
Yeah.
And over the course of the time, you'll be paying $200,000 in interest.
Ah.
And I got a really good interest rate. I got like 5%.
Yeah, well, not good enough, apparently. That's
I don't think you can get lower than that.
Yeah, it's true.
Fucking better than Navient was like, hey, we'll shave down your percentage, but every 6 months you have to call us, and then every 6 months you gotta give your financial situation, and then every 6 months they'll bring it up a half of fucking percent.
Seriously?
So at this point, so I got 5.5 to this to consolidate a company. I was at 5.5% of Navient, so I was gonna go up to 6%, which is like $1,000-something a month.
That's criminal. That's messed up.
I pay more for my student loans than I did for my mortgage that I had for the house that I had.
That's so messed up.
It sucks.
That's really messed up.
For a job that I do, which it's pretty, I have my job I have right now during the day basically my knowledge came from my work experience for the last 10 years. Nothing that I learned from school.
That's a lot of people.
Nothing.
That's a lot of people. Me too. That's where
I could have went to a vocational school.
Yep.
And then what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
The only thing
definitely.
The only thing that helped me was I probably get an extra maybe $10,000 a year because I graduated college. That's probably my only bargaining chip.
Yeah.
I have a head start over the kid.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing you can do about it now.
But what the fuck, right?
Just got to soldier forward. Keep
the
shelling out that
20s,
money.
my 20s
That sucks.
But you gotta admit you didn't go to college,
No,
right?
I did not.
You went to high school, went to the working force.
I did.
Became a man early.
I went to community college, but
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Middlesex.
Oh, I used to fool around with a girl who went to Middlesex Community College. It's in Chelmsford, right?
No, the one is Bedford.
Bedford, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Bedford, yes, she went there. Yeah. And she was a dirty girl from Nashville, New Hampshire.
Oh boy.
Well, when I met her, I guess she was in high school. I was a freshman in college. She was a senior in high school. And I used to drive up to her house when she was living in Nashville. Her mom was a cop, or worked for the police department, I should say. I don't think she was a cop.
Yeah.
And she didn't know who her dad was. So she would be home alone a lot. And I remember between classes, it was like a 20-minute ride from UMass Lowell to Nashua, to our house. Exit 5E, off Route 3. I just remember like it was yesterday.
You barely remember this girl now.
I used to go up there for sex. Midday sex. All the time.
Well, she did know her father, so obviously this girl's judgment is not there.
I met her on Yahoo Chat.
Ah.
Another one of my Yahoo Chat victims. I used to nickname her the Nashua chick.
It was like Boston 23 room, or like what room was
I forget. Something like
Massachusetts,
that. Yeah. And I remember I met her, and it's a funny story. Her name was Nicole, or is Nicole. I think she's still alive. Still Facebook friends. If she's watching this, for the small percentage she's actually watching the show, which I doubt she is.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello, Nicole. This story is about you.
This story is about you.
She, the first time we met, I didn't know what she looked like. We had no pictures, but you couldn't send pictures back then, right? So I was coming from Revere. She was coming from Nashua. So let's meet in Burlington. It's a pretty halfway point. You come down Route 3, I'll go this way. So we met at the Burlington Mall.
Okay.
And then I'm like, all right, well, we meet at the mall, then we'll grab some dinner, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do, whatever like that. So this is before, like, text messaging, too.
Yeah,
like, we had cell phones. This is February. This is October 2002.
Yeah.
This is fucking 16 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, dude, that's
16 years ago.
Yeah.
This happened, right? Now, the first girl I lost my virginity to was like 2 months prior to this that I've also met on the same Yahoo chat.
So you were riding high. You had the.
Oh yeah. Well, I was with a girl in high school for like 3 years, and we never had sex. And the one time we were gonna have sex, I didn't have a bag on me, and she wouldn't bang me without a bag. Ugh. So she's like, "Oh, just go down on me." So I did for like a half hour, and then I'm like, "All right, well, my turn."
Yeah, did she return the favor?
Oh, you have to leave. My parents are coming home.
Oh. That's not cool. I mean, it wouldn't have taken long anyway. You're really young, so it's not like...
We were our cousins downstairs watching TV. It was the weirdest thing. Like, her parents were away for the weekend. She snuck me in. Her parents didn't allow her to have a boyfriend, you know? So I was like a sneaky on the side, you know? Long story short. So, I'm going to get my pickle wet. So I'm on GeoCities. I just graduated high school. I'm living high and mighty, a college student right now, you know what I mean? I got my new Jeep, brand new Jeep, a year old. And, so I was with the Hanover chick that I would bang all the time the first time. And then I was like, I was riding high. Actually, it could have been, you know what, I'm sorry. It might have been December or January. I think it was more January of 2003 we met this girl, Nicole, okay? I think we had prior talked, and then I think we finally met up at this point. Details that no one really needs to know. So we met at the Burlington Mall where they filmed Mall Cops.
No.
You know the movie Mall Cop?
No, I do not. I know Paul Bart. Oh, yeah,
Paul Bart.
Yeah. But that was... Yeah, I remember
They filmed it there. Not when we were there, but they filmed it there.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
That stupid movie. Fucking Kevin James.
Oh, yeah. And
don't get me started.
So I didn't know what she looked like. So I was sitting by the door. And if you go to the Burlington Mall, this is very local for the Burlington people, but there's like an Uno's restaurant. It's on like this one weird wing, and the food court's above you, kind of over there. You know, so I'm hanging out there. So I told her I'll meet her over there. And like at first, this is Asian chick sitting there on her phone. I'm thinking it's her. And like for 15 minutes, I have no idea. So I tell my cousin to call me. I go, hey, you're going to call me in 15 minutes. I go, if this shit's going bad, you have a flat tire that I need to come and get you. because I didn't know what she looked like. You know what I mean? I needed to know. I had to get out of there somehow, right? So finally, she comes around and then she shows up, and I'm like, oh, all right, she's not bad. Like, she was a cute girl. And we hung out, and we went to dinner. Went to the Rainforest Cafe. Remember those places?
Yeah, is that still there?
No, I think it's gone now. They actually, a lot of them closed around the country because it's natural water inside there, like the sprinklers.
Yeah.
And moisture attracts cockroaches.
Makes sense.
So a lot of moisture and humidity was in the ceiling, and cockroaches were nesting and having a gay old time up there. Yeah, so a lot of them closed due to that. But hey, Tommy, what are you doing, buddy?
The Crate and Barrel box.
Yeah, so you're eating my wedding gift. The wedding gifts are already starting to roll in, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but because the shower's in about a month. But anyways, back to the girl I used to have sex with. So we hung out a few times. Like she was a waitress at this restaurant. I went up there and hung out with her, and she had all these like adults that her friends were her mother. They were very protective of her. Probably because she didn't have a dad. Like they were just making sure.
No, yeah, well, that's definitely the reason why.
Yeah, and so my mom did a background check on me, make sure I was okay.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God.
So we kind of like talked, but it was like for a few months. I'm trying to think where like the transition was. We talked from. It had to be like in December-ish, November, December-ish to January, February. It was right before spring break because I wasn't talking to her on spring break. I was too busy having sex with girls from Iowa on spring break. No, I didn't have sex with her. I just got a hand job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Monaco talked politics with the other one.
No, that sucks.
Yeah. Good old Iowa chicks. So long story short, fast forward through time.
Long story, still long.
I would go up there, we'd fool around and stuff like this. So this was like 2008 comes around, right?
She's dead.
No, she randomly. I'm up in Nashua, New Hampshire. I went up at the mall up there, the Pheasant Lane Mall up there.
Okay.
Right? Randomly, I was just going on a ride. I used to go on rides all the time back in the day. Like I would just go on a ride somewhere. So I had the day off, so I would go explore. Tommy, stop it. So I'd go to. So I was in the Pheasant Lane Mall. So I was up there and I was like, oh, maybe I'll shoot Nicole a text. I'm like, oh, I'm in Nashua. Why not? That's what I used to do. I used to, And she's like, yeah, meet me at the I don't know, fucking Chili's or something. Was I 21 though? Yeah, 2008 I was 21. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we met at Chili's at the bar. That's right. So we met at the bar and we chit chatted. And like the next weekend later, she was like, "Oh, come up." She had moved. Her mom was away for the weekend, and we went up and she greeted me in the door in lingerie and boots.
Nice.
Like she's like, "Oh, come up and watch a movie."
Yeah.
And I remember it's funny because if you fast forward back in time, so this is a distinct memory I'll always have in my life. Me and her went to the movies one day. This was back in the day before this showing up in the boots and the lingerie. And we went to go see Drumline. Remember that movie?
Yeah, Nick Cannon.
With Nick Cannon.
Yes.
At the movie theater in Nashua. And as we were in the movies, all of a sudden it started fucking blizzarding out. And they were doing construction on Route 3 at the time, and I'm driving home in my Jeep. It's snowing so fucking hard. I lose a windshield wiper. The driver's side windshield wiper flies off.
Oh, shit.
So now I only have the passenger side windshield wiper going like this. So I'm driving like this, leaning over in the side, and all I remember is Def Leppard Photograph is playing on ZLX, and it's the first time I ever heard that song.
Def Leppard Photograph?
Photograph. I don't.
Oh, for a minute there, I thought you were going the Nickelback right. Look at this photograph.
No.
Every time I look, it makes me laugh.
Photograph is playing. First time ever. Fucking one of my favorite songs of all time. So now we fast forwarded to me driving up to Nashua. What song hits the radio? Fucking Photograph.
It's meant to be,
meant
man.
to be.
Meant to be.
Greets me in the door wearing like some like a short skirt and like this like skanky top and like boots. Because I told her I like to bang girls in boots. I guess I must have in conversation. I think we were dirty talking throughout the week. Yeah. Sexting, if you will. And then we go and we're sitting in the living room and, we're just like, let's cut to the chase. And we go into the room and I couldn't perform.
Oh, no. Self-inflicted ED.
I had self-inflicted ED from anxiety. I think she caught me. I was so used to working for.
Yes.
And she was just giving it away.
Your brain malfunctioned and you had no idea what to do.
I had my fucking computer crashed and I couldn't reset it in time. So she's like, we get into the room and we start making out. And usually she wanted to go straight to the sex. I need a little foreplay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're making out and I'm getting excited, but I can't get a full blown erection, right? I'm having trouble fully hard.
Yeah.
Because I need the foreplay.
Yeah,
you know?
you need to
make out a little bit, take your top off. So I'm like, and then she was insisting on doing it in the complete darkness of her room. Mm-hmm. I need to see some light. I need to see a tit. You know what I mean? I need a visual.
I need an ass to grab. See, I need something.
I need something to see.
Oh, I get it.
And I was very invested in this situation, right? She wouldn't put a light on, and she's like, oh, I don't like having sex with the lights on. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I said to her, I'm like, well, and I'm trying to, and I have a fucking limp worm at this point, right? I'm trying my hardest.
It's starting to shrivel up and go back inside.
It's like it's filling up, but it's not hard enough to penetrate.
Yeah, I know. It's just gonna bounce off the wall.
And this girl, I mean, not to get into any details or anything, but it was gonna take a mighty force to penetrate this wall. Okay, it wasn't like it was some like slut off the way I could like just throw a worm in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was a concrete reinforced wall that I needed to have my jackhammer in this thing, right?
Yes.
And I can't get it up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying. So I said to him, like, can you guys knock it off, please? I'm telling a story about how I had sex with some girl I met on GeoCities chat.
I know, and Tommy's trying to get
Tommy's getting excited.
You're getting Tommy horny. That's what the problem is.
So I go to him, like, well, why don't you just, put it in your mouth? A little oral stimulation. I don't do that.
Oh, no.
Then we're not going to have sex. I need you to... there they go. Tommy's all about it. He doesn't understand where to do it. Unlike me, he's extremely excited right now.
You got it. Maybe you got him excited.
He must hear the story and get excited because I think he was doing this last week when we were telling the story. Like
he
this.
was. When you start talking about when. Oh,
so
man,
needless to say, I couldn't get it up, and I said to her, "I'm like, well, sorry, there's nothing I can do." Yeah. And she's like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I just started getting dressed, and I didn't talk to her for quite some time. I can't tell you the last time I talked to her. I talked to her. I don't remember when I talked to her.
Yeah.
This was like 2008. I think
she's probably got a couple kids now.
So I don't know if she's a kid. I know she's married by now.
Yeah.
And then she actually met her husband like a week or two after we had that failed hookup.
He's probably in the same chat room that day too, and just they were
Maybe.
friends.
I don't know. Did you ever see the movie Good Luck Chuck?
Yes.
Where he would date a girl and then she get married?
Yeah.
Every single girl I've dated, the next guy they meet, they marry.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I think it's because it's our age.
We're going deep. Let's go deep. Let's go back down memory lane. So the first girl I talked about that wanted to have sex with me, but I didn't have a bag back in high school.
Yeah.
Next guy she dated, she married.
Mm-hmm. They still together?
Oh, yeah. They have a kid and everything. They're fucking living a good old life, And then you go through every single girl I've dated. The next guy they dated, they've married.
They learned what they didn't want from you.
Maybe I was such a bad experience, they knew just do the opposite. And they're all happily married.
Or you can look at it, they knew they couldn't ever do better, so they settled.
I like to think that way.
You can go that way too.
I like to think they peaked with me. And from anything on from here, it's just they'll grab whatever's the closest to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I do have a funny Burlington Mall story, though. It doesn't involve girls, but it involves stealing. And
was it you?
No, here's the thing. Me and my buddy Sean, we used to steal quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean,
everyone goes in that phase, though.
Yeah, you go through that phase, right?
Yeah, so I did that. I used to rip off Ames all the time.
But the one thing I was always told and taught was to never steal from malls because they do have cameras everywhere.
True.
Right? Never steal from a mall. Well, Sean thought it would be a good idea to steal from Sam Goody, which has those fucking devices on the damn.
Oh, yeah, they beep and they go through the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I forget how we took it out of the it was a cassette. It was Muddy Banks of the Wish Guy, Nirvana,
Muddy Banks of the Wish Guy.
And it was in one of those stupid plastic things.
The long things that because you couldn't put them in your pocket. There was this obstructed fucking piece of plastic.
I don't remember how he got the damn thing off, but he did it like it was nothing, right?
If you had like a pocket knife, I used to be able to pop it in the corner, and there was a little flange, and it would actually fall apart.
Yeah.
And if you went to the Sam Goodies, usually they had like the jazz or the classical music section in the back where no one ever was.
Yes.
Especially when in Squirrel Mall. Remember and if you go back there, they didn't have cameras back there. You could just toss. My guy used to know, not to interrupt you, but they said he used to find piles of those fucking security things there every week.
I believe it. So Sean he was kind of so cocky because he had never been caught before. So it's like, you're riding
That's
high.
how you get caught.
Yeah, exactly, right? So he pops the thing out, right? Puts it, right? We leave. And we're walking, and we notice there's like these people that are kind of near us, and they've been around us for a while. So we go to the food court. And
Loss prevention, were they?
And this guy, meanwhile, is wearing there's 3 of them. Is 2 guys and 1 girl, right?
Okay.
One of them is wearing a Sam Goody badge, by the way, but they're acting like they just are at the mall.
Okay.
Right?
So they're trying to blend in, like
they're trying, but they're doing a horrible job at it. And the guy, like, he sits at our table and he's like, "Hey man, you were just at Sam Goody, right? Pretty cool what you did. You stole that. You stole that cassette, right?"
He said that?
Yeah, it was like the worst attempt I've ever seen.
Pretty cool what you did. You stole this cassette.
He's like, "Hey, you stole that cassette, right? I saw you. That was pretty cool, man. Right?" And like, we all looked at each other like, "Is this guy for real?
Yeah.
Like, is he really trying to like?
Was he gonna make me a
like,
minute? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be, yeah, we totally did, right?" And we just kind of looked at him like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So Sean obviously goes. He's like, he's getting his food, right? And he just dumps the cassette in the trash. Smart move.
Yeah.
Right.
Get rid of the
right.
evidence.
So we sit down, and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I don't mean to barge in with you guys. You guys seem real cool. I just thought, you know, if that's what you did, that's really cool."
What a fucking weirdo.
I know, right? And it's like,
who in their right mind would have been like, "Yeah, man, we'll hang out."
Let's hang out. Like, it's like and meanwhile,
Fucking
like I said,
weirdo.
the other person has a Sam Goody shirt on.
Yeah.
Made no sense.
No.
Right? And they continued to follow us for a little while before realizing nothing was going to happen.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They can't ask you to empty. They're not security.
Exactly.
Fucking idiots. I had a guy who worked up at Audubon Penn. He used to steal from Sam Goody's like it was a fucking like a free-for-all.
Yeah.
And he had this bag he built. It was called the Bopper. He built it. And it was a store bag like from Macy's or something like that he lined with like aluminum foil and like duct tape.
Huh.
And he would just throw shit in there as he's in the store, and it wouldn't set off the alarm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. If the guy was a weirdo.
I stole a skateboard once.
Like a full-size skateboard?
Yep.
I stole a mini skateboard from KB, like one of those finger skateboards.
Oh, yeah.
And almost got caught.
I stole
close.
I stole an actual size skateboard, and I pulled it off because I credit my dad for this, actually, because he used to work in retail. And I always remember the story. He told me once these guys stole a canoe. And I was like, "How do you steal a canoe?"
Yeah.
And my dad told me they just walked in, they picked it up like they owned it, and just walked out the door with it. Everybody just assumed that they had paid for it because it was so obvious.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I remembered that. And I was like, "You know what?" And I just cut it from the thing.
Yeah.
I tucked it into my arm, and I walked right out the door.
You didn't try to hide it?
Didn't try to hide it.
Yeah.
Right? And no one caught me.
They'd say that. Like, if you're not hiding, like, because, like, that would be a bold move to walk out of the store. Because if you were a sales associate, it was getting paid $4 or $5, like, at that time, like $7 an hour. What the fuck do you care?
Exactly.
Like, you're going to be like, "Hey, sir, is that your skateboard? Do you have a receipt for that?"
And it's not like there were a lot of cameras then. There were, but you knew where they were. Now it's a lot different. But I feel like back then...
now it's extremely... My cousin used to work... cousin Ricky used to work loss prevention at Sears at the Peabody Mall, the North Shore Mall.
Yeah.
And he would sit up there in the camera room all day. And he would just watch cameras. And when it was creepy because I walked in one day and I got a text message. "How's the women's department doing?"
Oh, God.
And I look up and I can see the camera go, I go, "You working?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you on camera. I followed you all through the store."
Oh, damn.
I go, "You fuck." So basically what they would do is he would be up in the camera room and there would be people on the floor dressed as regular people. And when he seen something suspicious going on, he would radio people and be like, "Hey, women's lingerie, guy, red shirt, check him out." And they would send people over there to watch him.
Like undercover people?
Yeah, they worked for security and they were just dressed as like regular people.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a fun gig.
Yeah. So every time, like, it was the creepiest thing. You just watch people all day and just fucking bust them.
That is creepy.
And that's what every store does pretty much now. I mean, that's what casinos do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see a camera, someone's watching you.
Yeah.
Someone's watching the cameras. Like big stores like Target, I bet Doubleback could tell you, like, they got a loss prevention team up there.
Oh, yeah, they definitely
do.
I know they do.
They're making sure. They're watching the employees, making sure they're not stealing from the registers. They're watching fucking people not to make sure they're not stealing shit. It's like, the amount of theft that goes through, We used to have a rule when I worked retail. We would have, like, if you had more than, like, 5% to 10% shrink, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, more than 10, I think, was it. They allowed 10% of shit to be stolen.
That's still a lot.
It is. So that's like one out of 10 pairs of sneakers, right? I worked at the sneaker store. So, like, it was acceptable to have 10% of your shit missing. Or unaccounted for, if you will. And, like, 90% of the time, it was employees. Yeah. I remember the time we had to go down to Cape Cod to work at that mall. And the manager had just got fired because his shrink was almost like 45%. 45% of the shit was missing.
45%.
And they were Jordans and like high-end shoes all gone,
man.
right? And sure enough, most of them were his size or around there. And they fired him. And then when they were cleaning out the store, we went down there. We found a hole in the wall.
Not a glory hole.
No, it was like a hole that was like fucking a piece of plywood was bolted over
Hey, Alex
the hole.
Wallace.
Alex Wallace. Hey, buddy.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah. My number one fan, of course, a.k.a. Matty. There was a hole in the wall that was like, it looked like it was like, you wouldn't put a plaster hole in the wall and put a piece of plywood over it.
No.
So we undid the plywood, of course, to see what's going on. Because again, and it's not a firewall at that point, so you have to re-jip it. And we looked down in there, and there was a deep wall. It must have been like a shaft for like an HVAC or something like that. And it was almost filled with sneaker boxes.
Oh my god, that fucker had an elaborate plan.
So he would put them on, walk out of the store when he's leaving, when he was the only one there, throw the box in the hole. And there was no cameras.
Yeah.
We just found a ton of, and we couldn't get them. We couldn't retrieve them.
But he left all that evidence right there. Technically, that's some shenanigans was going down.
It was, but they couldn't prove it because we couldn't get the boxes out. We couldn't prove how the boxes got in there. So they just fired him. I mean, shit. Susie's home. You might have known the minute she came home and the dog started going crazy.
Jennifer O'Connell.
Jennifer O'Connell.
Hey, Jennifer O'Connell.
Jennifer O'Connell, thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you, Irish lady.
I know you're definitely not the girl we were talking about earlier. 'Cause your name was Nicole.
Yes, you are not Nicole.
You are not Nicole. Yes. How about you? Every girl you've dated to get married after you were done?
Quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But I think it's because it's just the age when you get up there.
Could be an age. Like, or maybe they couldn't have the mallet anymore. Once you go
that's
mallet,
it, yeah.
you can't go back.
That's what it was. That's totally what it is.
Do you have any girls ever turn lesbo?
No. I think I had a few that dabbled.
Okay.
After, but
I think
didn't.
all girls dabble.
Yeah, they dabble. I don't
Still
think
dabbles.
anybody. I don't think anybody that confirmed went completely.
Yeah, full boat.
Full blown lesbian.
Yeah, that's good.
And do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
If I think it's a. Oh.
Like, okay, what if Sue's left you for a woman? That would be worse than a man.
It would be, because that would make me think, wow, I didn't just fuck up bad enough for her not to want to be with me. I fucked up for my entire team.
All right. You can look at, all right.
You picture you're like the guy, you're like the pitcher that lets up the home run that wins the game for the other team.
I get you.
You just let your whole team down. You're not just the guy that strikes out and you're like, I struck out. 9 other people had the opportunity to, right? Like, when you bat and you strike out, it's like, all right, well, those other guys could have hit the ball too. I'm not the only one there.
That's
when you're
true.
the guy who leaves a fucking floater over the plate and they hit it for, if you get Aaron Boone, that's worse.
Yeah.
Because you basically said to every single guy, I suck so bad as a male that I could not bring pleasure to this woman anymore. So the fact that she now doesn't want to have anything to do with men.
I mean, more than likely, it was just that she was lying to herself the whole time.
I mean, you could think of it that way too. But like, you ever an experience somewhere and just leaves like, I remember in 2003, I had a math teacher for a calculus teacher. His last name was Mueller. Okay, but he spelt his name like Bill Miller. It was spelt exactly the same, like the baseball player. And I remember I hated this teacher so much. Every time I seen Bill Miller up to bat, I was pissed. I would get mad.
Just left a mark on
you.
you.
I didn't want to even see a Red Sox game. Yeah. So it's something like that. So I think that's terrible if a girl leaves you. For another lady, if you will. I think it's hot.
I'd be like, that's us. Can I join?
I do think the ability, it's like, because if you go to her and be like, hey, listen, do you mind if I watch you and your girlfriend? It's a lot less creepy than, hey, can I watch you and your new boyfriend?
I think watching two people, it just doesn't make sense to me, because it's like I'd be wanting to join or just be with the girl that, like, I don't know how I could just watch.
I mean, you watch porn, don't you?
But I take care of myself.
Yeah.
Well, I have to take care of myself then, too.
Yeah. I mean,
but okay.
I can't imagine you watching two people having sex and just staring there and drinking a
I've known people, and I think they're full of shit. I've met people who say they just watch porn, and I'm like, you're full of shit. You take care of yourself. No, just watch it. How can anybody just watch porn? Like the other day, they were talking about that guy at Planet Fitness.
Oh yeah,
who walked in naked and.
Did you hear what he said to the cops?
Yeah. He's like, I thought it was a judgment-free zone.
Judgment. Yeah, I said it was you. Yeah, we thought, but then he was like, Adam lost it. Adam has finally lost it, and he's now at Planet Fitness, just walking around naked. The guy kind of looked.
This is Rob Zombie.
Dude, yes.
It's like Rob Zombie's cousin.
I would have paid anything for that to happen while you were there, and Maddie was the manager. That would
have been awesome.
If it was like at the location you guys go to all the time. I would have paid. What would you do? Would you call the cops?
I think I'm trying to think realistically. I'd probably be in such shock at first.
Yeah.
Probably for like a good minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like, is this really happening?
Oh yeah.
And then I'd kind of want to let it ride for a little bit and see where this goes.
I would too. I wouldn't call the cops.
But at some point you have to. As Matt, like if Maddie was still working, he'd have to.
The manager would have to. Yeah.
Yes,
I would feel like he was obligated to. But as like I'm a guy on the treadmill, I'm just sitting there watching the shit go down. If this guy's unthreatening and it doesn't look like he's going to do anything that could possibly cause any harm to anyone.
But they were talking about that on the radio the other day, and they were mentioning how people were calling in with weird things that people do at the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
And one guy was saying how he's on his elliptical, and the guy on the treadmill in front of him is watching porn.
See, that's a little weird.
That is weird because you're not touching it. You're not fixing yourself. You're not doing anything yourself. You're just watching it.
That's like borderline. You could be like arrested for that, I think.
Probably.
For having like lewd material. Like if you're sitting in your car in a parking lot watching some porn.
Yeah.
And like, a kid walks by.
Yeah.
By mistake.
True.
Or like some fucking like, mother walks by and sees this guy in a van watching porn.
But what is legal is if you're in your home or your own residence and you're just standing naked in front of a window. If anybody walks by, it could be a little kid, it's fine.
Yeah, that is true.
That's legal.
In the privacy of your own home.
Yes. But I never understood watching porn and not taking care of yourself.
I know.
How could you do that?
I don't know. I feel like there's no reason to watch
exactly.
porn.
There's something psychologically
it's not like
wrong.
The storyline is prevalent enough for you to be like, oh, I gotta watch what's gonna happen in the end. You know what happens at the end? she takes a big creamy one on the face.
I'm thinking
it's the same ending every single time.
I'm thinking you want to kill them or something. Like I can't. You're looking at them like not in a sexual way. If
that means
you're
a sociopath.
I think so.
I know a guy who's friends of all of us. We've all met him.
Yes.
He may or may not live in the building across the street. When we started working at the bar I work at years ago, like 11 years ago, we had these people come into the restaurant to like train us because it was a brand new restaurant, right? So there was this whore, like slutty girl that was working there, and she was just banging whatever, right? So she's like, "Hey guys, I'm bringing my girlfriend. You guys want to watch us have sex upstairs?" Because they were staying at the hotel upstairs. So I don't think I was working this day because I didn't take part of this, but my friend says all he remembers is that the two girls go up there and like 5 of the guys from the restaurant go up there and they just sit there, and he goes, he was so hammered, he was just sitting there sipping a bourbon in the dark. Like it was like faint light. Like
that is so creepy.
And he was just watching them go at it and just thinking to himself, well, this is interesting.
That's really creepy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I guess, I feel like if someone's inviting you to watch them, you're inviting them to play with themselves.
Yeah. That should be
an automatic. And if you whip it out and start dingling your ding-a-lang, and they say, hey, well, what are you doing? You should reply, hey, why did you invite me?
Like, am I a referee? What the fuck am I here for?
It's like, am I going to invite you over to watch me and Suze have dinner? And not give you anything?
That'd be so evil.
It'd be terrible, right?
It's evil.
It's like when we eat and the dogs look at us and they like torture us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like that couple that had like those 20 kids. They would put cake like on like the thing. Remember that?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and like they could look at it and they can only take like one shower a year. It's like you could look at it, you just can't eat it though.
It's terrible.
Oh no,
child abuse, borderline, right?
It is, and that is totally abuse.
Okay, you got a nice ass in this video right here. Like Tommy's
butt just Tommy,
shaking his money maker.
Ass in the air. Yeah.
We were telling some provocative stories lately, and I guess I got Tommy excited. He's been non-stop hornbag the entire time.
He is. Your voice.
Jesus. Love. The way if the humans had sex the way the dogs did. Yeah.
So you got a big weekend coming up. You're going to see, hopefully, Randy Moss.
Yeah. I don't know. Shall we talk about the weekend coming up, or talk about the weekend from the past?
Oh my God, the past, the present, the future.
So last weekend we went to Cooperstown.
That's right.
I tied. Me and you've both been there 4 times.
Yes.
Have you been to the museum all 4 times?
Yeah, I have.
See, I only been to the museum 3 times. Yeah. But I like the ambiance of the little town.
It is. It's creepy.
It's creepy.
It's a town that dreaded Sunday.
You know what? It's creepy. I've never been there after dusk, and I never been there on off season. Yeah. But I can imagine that in the off season, that place gets fucking creepy.
I passed a church once. I got to find the photo because some people don't believe me if I've shown this photo. There was a church bulletin, it was like those church bulletin boards, and it said, "Stop, drop, and roll doesn't work in hell."
Oh, in Cooperstown?
Yeah, it was
nice.
or just outside of Cooperstown, like
Yeah,
the town
yeah.
over.
Okay.
Right, and there's cars everywhere, but nobody on the sidewalk.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, no, it's like because I was there like in Labor Day, so everything was closing pretty much the next day.
Yeah.
And it was kind of desolate. We were there obviously in the peak of the summer, and there was all these baseball teams play there, so they play all around, whatever. Tons of people there. But I can see when the lights go down, like there's not much of a the restaurants probably close around 9:30, 10. Unless you're staying at the hotel, that one hotel that's in Cooperstown on the lake, you're probably not have much of a nightlife.
No. Oh my god.
Because I didn't really see many bars. I seen one that was like one going down the side street that may be open late, but because we were like, what were we gonna do? We wanted to get a head start, so the night before we drove out. So I'm like, well, the nearest place we could probably stay is Albany, and still be able to do something at night. And I've never been to Albany before, like other than fucking driving through.
And now you never need to be again.
And now we never need to. Do you know that? So it's the state capital of New York, if anyone didn't know out there. And do you know like our state house has this big elaborate gold dome?
Oh yeah.
Their state house is a fucking castle.
Oh wow.
You would say it's like built like a medieval castle, right? So
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it was like all these like points, like a castle had and everything. I go, that's a very unique steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
State house.
And that's about all it's got going.
You can watch this on the Wicked Explorers if you Google the Wicked Explorers or if you go to YouTube and type in the Wicked Explorers. It's episode 123.
123. I thought it was 129.
123. You can see our adventure to Cooperstown in Albany. But yeah, then we went to. It's very hipster town. It actually reminds me. It has the same like feel of Hartford. You ever been to Hartford at night?
Yeah.
Kind of like Hartford. Very hipster though. I could tell. We went to this one restaurant. And it was very hipster. It was like they had craft beers and had like a decent menu, and it was like a very rustic looking place, kind of. And I thought food was good, drinks were good. Then we went to this place. It was called the Beer Hall, and it was in Albany's original city hall that they taken over and made a giant like nightclub. There was like dancing upstairs.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was like in an side street. We wandered over there. We were like the youngest people there by like fucking. It was like the time that we went to Hong Kong. It's kind of like that. We're the oldest people there. So we go into the place, and 3 weddings had just got out. So there was only place to go after a wedding. So all the friggin' wedding pies and shit like that. But it was a pretty cool. I could see myself if I wasn't so tired from like working all day and driving out there. And I was like, all right, I could be here for the night. Because the last call was like 4 o'clock. Jesus,
Whoa, Jesus, that scared the hell out of me.
I could feel that I could probably, have a good time there. Yeah. We were just kind of chill. We just ate dinner. We were full. We were tired. We had a long day ahead of us the next day and stuff. So we kind of like, whatever. But we enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
But, oh, did you see him on the video? Yeah, if you just watch the video, you just see Tommy take a dive. He apparently lost his balance. And now he's embarrassed. Look at him. Now he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Tom, you embarrassed? Here he is. Look at his ears all flopped back. He doesn't know what to do now. Yeah, so next weekend. So, first of all, can you do next Monday for the show?
Next Monday, no, because I'm going to be coming. I might be back in time. I'm going away for the weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Up to Maine, I believe. Going to Well,
if you could do, because it's Wednesday, I'll be flying out with Thursday morning, but I'll be in Hartford Wednesday night.
Yeah, I'm leaving Monday morning, so I should be back.
All right, yeah. So we just Monday night. We'll see episode 66. You see us live here on Facebook, and you listen to it, of course, on the iTunes once it gets loaded up.
Well, that's good. Weekend.
But the weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, we will be, I will be, I should say, in Canton, Ohio.
That's right.
Hall of Fame for the NFL. So it's very interesting because I just did the MLB the Baseball Hall of Fame. So I'll be doing the Football Hall of Fame. Next week from Saturday, we got invited to the dinner, so I'll be eating dinner with Randy Moss. It's a black tie affair, and then golfing, of course, and then the whole rigmarole. There's a whole weekend of activities. We get to go to the Hall of Fame game, which I believe is the Bears versus I think it's the Bears versus Browns or something like that. It's the official kickoff of the preseason, so that'll be interesting.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting weekend.
Yeah,
all because of Doubleback's brother who sells meat.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it'll be an adventure whatsoever. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, you probably never do it again. Might as well experience. Exactly. It wouldn't be something that would. Chicago and Baltimore. I was close. I said the Browns, but then they moved. The Browns originally moved to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I had Baltimore in my mind. It's one of those things I wouldn't do if I probably wouldn't drive. If I was in the area, I'd probably go to the Football Hall of Fame, but I wouldn't go out of my way for the football because I don't like. I'm not. I think that baseball is more of a historic thing, so the Hall of Fame seems to mean a little more. Whereas football is so evolutional; it changes every 5 to 10 years. The history aspect of it, I think, gets lost in the transition. Where baseball has pretty much maintained itself over the years. Basketball is the same thing. I'd go to the Basketball Hall of Fame because I think basketball kind of evolves, has a historic ground to it.
That's in Springfield, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And me and the Sues are going to be planning a trip out there because the casino in Springfield opens on the 24th of August. The MGM Grand in Springfield, Mass.
Nice.
It's going to be the first full-scale casino in Massachusetts. So I figured it'd be great. Go out there on Saturday night, go to the casino, hit up the Hall of Fame the next day, and drive home.
Nice.
That's probably what we're going to do.
My weekend was just as eventful, but it was in one spot because I went to the, as I was saying, I went to the Foo Fighters.
You went to the Foo Fighters at Fenway Park, if no less
and,
places.
I went to the Saturday concert, and
so they were still
a friend
loose.
of ours went to the Sunday one, which we could talk about a little bit later.
A friend of ours.
Yes, a friend of ours went to the Sunday. I went to the Saturday
Eric
one.
Danger Powers.
Although I will give him credit for one thing, he gave me the set list, which was awesome because getting older helps to plan your bathroom breaks around songs.
Was it pretty accurate?
I would say it's about 85%. It was about accurate enough that it was, and it was good.
That's a good idea. I always thought the set list of being like, oh, I want to be surprised.
Yeah, that's how I used to feel, and I was like getting older.
But you make a great point. When one needs to take a piss
or bathroom or food.
Yeah, you want to know that, all right, I can get a head start because at the end of
I don't want this
Monkey Wrench, she's going to play some fucking covers ballad of some shit song. Okay.
Yeah, or like a drum solo. Yeah, exactly. So it was great. The opening act is this band who I can't stand, and like this British band called the Struts, and it's like if Russell
They're the sister band of the Sharks.
It's like if Russell Brand, that stupid actor, that British guy, and Freddie Mercury had a baby, it would be the Struts. And
did they play both nights or just the?
I don't know about the second night. I think
why such a shitty opener?
Well, they're well known in British. Well, in Britain.
Yeah,
they must be. And they did a great cover of Under Pressure, where Dave Grohl was playing on the drums.
Really,
and it was actually pretty cool. They really knew how to work the crowd really well, and it was a really great show.
Interesting. I would think a band like the Foo Fighters would have a B-level band from the 90s open for them. But maybe they're just trying to get some exposure for another band. Maybe.
Well, I think they picked them too.
Yeah, they probably did. They probably want some exposure for some band that's up and coming. I guess I don't know. Who knows?
But I know our friend who went the next day probably does not even remember the concert.
See, the problem of Danger Powers is, and every time I've gone to concerts of them, I've been to 2 concerts. I've been to Huey Lewis and the News of them, and I went to see Poison, Cheap Trick, and Ariel. Was it Ariel Speedwagon? No, it was Cheap Trick, Poison, and who's the other band? Cheap Trick. I Want You to Want Me. Poison was the other, and then oh god, I can't remember. Well, it was another one of those type of bands.
Yeah.
That play Molly don't mind, Daddy don't mind, just seem a little weird.
Daddy's all yeah, I know the song.
That's Cheap Trick.
Okay, but anyway, so
anyways, wherever I seen him play, he gets really hammered.
I never understood
before
that.
the concert.
See, I want to remember the concert.
Yeah,
I never
it's
get that hammered at a concert.
Before walking in, and you figure these concerts don't start till 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So you have the entire day.
Yeah.
It could get a little dangerous there. That's gonna fucking kill me. Cheap Trick, Poison.
Oh, well, while you think of that, though, let me just say, anybody out there, concert, Fenway Park, beer for a Bud Light, just can $12.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I must have been feeling really good. I wasn't even that drunk. I had a nice little buzz going, but the music, I think it has this weird effect on you in the food. I bought a T-shirt. I never buy T-shirts.
$45 T-shirt?
No, it was $25.
Oh, that's not bad. Usually they start at $40-something for a fucking T-shirt in a concert. Did you...
About $25 and a $30 T-shirt.
Is that your first concert at Fenway Park?
Yes, it is. Actually, was.
How do you feel about a concert at Fenway Park?
It's okay. I think you're more so paying for the historical side of it. That's what it is.
See,
it's not bad. I've been worse.
I want to see Billy Joel. He's there next in a couple weeks at Fenway.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Billy Joel before. I want to see him before he drives into another tree because he likes to drink and drive, and it's inevitable it's going to happen. But The thing about Fenway Park is, unless you're sitting on the ground, I think it's a shitty place to watch a concert.
But even on the ground, there's chairs. Like, it's not like you can just
there's
stand and hang out. I'd rather just stand near the stage. Like, most places, like the House of Blues or the
Tweet. Oh yeah, like in the Tweeter Center. Like at least it's like, well, now it's called What the fuck? Great Woods Tweeter
Whatever
Center.
it's called
Comcast Xfinity Center.
Yeah, whatever
the
hell they are.
It's like an incline, right? So you're sitting like on the side. You know what they call it, an amphitheater essentially, and you incline so that even if you sit in the back, you're still inclined. And so does the tent in South Boston. You're inclined a little bit, too, you know? But when you go to a place like, Fenway, you basically, you're sitting on the ground and all your head level. There's no elevation.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting in the stands, I mean, if you're sitting on the first... Where they set up? Behind the Green Monster or in the corner in the triangle?
Kind of the triangle, maybe a little bit off the triangle, not near the monster, more so towards
to the
bullpens. Yeah.
So if you're sitting in left field, you're about, you would say, a fair football field away from the
Close
stage,
to.
easily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are great baseball tickets.
Yeah.
But
it's okay.
Terrible for a fucking concert.
Yeah, you're paying for say you're at Fenway Park to see a concert.
I mean, even if you sit in the Green Monster, you have a crinked neck from staring at a 90-degree downward angle.
Yeah, I don't think there were anybody sitting up there. I don't know. I wasn't looking, but
And then like and you get obstructive view and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's more of an ambiance thing, to be honest.
Definitely. But you were saying Powers at concerts, it gets completely.
Oh yeah, like all right. So this was gonna kill me. It was Cheap Trick, Poison, and Poison was the main band. It wasn't Ariel Speedwagon. Because I would remember that. Oh, God. Fuck it. I got to... But, so we went to this concert once, and we tailgated before, and, like, it's like anything else. Like, when we go to, like, NASCAR or baseball games and stuff like this, like, he feels free to, like to go crazy. Cheap Trick, Poison.
I just never understood the point if you're not going to remember it the next day, because you're paying to go and enjoy it. How could you be like, oh, that was awesome, when you can't remember it?
No, you can't. Oh, Def Leppard.
Oh my God!
How did I forget?
That's like the best one out of all of them.
Def Leppard, Poison, and Cheap Trick. That's it. Yes, it was a fucking phenomenal tour. And we were just talking about Def Leppard during the song. They were playing Photograph. I remember when they played Photograph at that concert. I was rocking out. The drummer had one arm. But yeah, I when I go to concerts, I like to have a nice little buzz. I like to enjoy myself, but I don't like to drink too much because I don't want to piss during the show. Mm-hmm. Because nothing's worse than... the only time I've ever pissed and I didn't really care was I seen MGMT. You ever see that band?
No.
It's like these two kids that DJ and they do that song. Do, 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 do,
oh,
do, 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 do. Yeah, call it Kids and Electric Feel.
Yes.
Those are like their only two songs. So they opened with Electric Feel and closed with Kids. And everything in the middle sucked. And it was at the tent in South Boston. So I didn't mind pissing to that. I also seen Phoenix. The Phoenix, they're like a progressive, like, rock pop band from the early 2000 teens.
Yeah.
And like 4 good songs. I pissed the rest of it.
What was the most disappointing band you think you've ever seen that you were looking forward to and you were like, that kind of sucked?
It's a good question. Let's see.
For me, it's Incubus. I did not like Incubus.
I think I would say STP, that River Rape we went to.
Really? They're one of my favorite live performers. I've seen them 4 times, though.
But he was
not that
so
one.
fucked up.
Well, he just came out of rehab. He's probably a little rusty. They were all right, but I wouldn't call them.
I think they
horrible.
sounded great. I just think
fine.
he was like, what was his name?
Scott Weiland.
Scott Weiland was just like so blah. He wasn't very animated during that show. He was just like you could.
I've seen better performances. I've seen them 4 times,
and I thought there would be like a fucking wild. I remember just like they zoomed in on his eyes, and it's like he had no pupils. Yeah, let's see. We'll find out in a second. Where do you get the tape from? The box? Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Then you got a little titty wiggle in there, too. Let's go ahead and end the show right there. A little butt shake and titty shake.
See, I draw on viewers.
Yes. She just sit there and smile.
One just popped up for a second.
Yeah, I was going to say. Someone was jacking it. Like, like, ooh.
It's like,
like, ooh, I just seen an ass.
Oh,
look at that ass. I got
it's hot in here.
Oh yeah,
I'm starting to bead.
What the hell were we talking? What were we talking about?
Concerts. Worst concert.
Worst concert. Yeah, what was the worst one you went?
Out of a band I was looking forward to seeing and sucked. Incubus. I thought they were going to put on a better show than I saw them. And I was very disappointed.
I mean, when I seen like MGMT and like in the Phoenix, I was kind of disappointed because I guess I should have done my own research and looked deeper into the catalogs and didn't realize I just liked their hits, so I went to go see it. I went to see. I seen it was a show. It was in Lowell. It was we got it for Something Corporate. It was Something Corporate, Messed, and the headliner was Good Charlotte.
Okay.
And it was me, Doubleback, and this other kid, Joe. We know, and the old guy in the band, the original Adam, as I like to call him, who was the drummer and the guitar player in the Average Six. The four of us went to the show, and we didn't really want to see Good Charlotte. We just wanted to see Something Corporate. And Messed, of course, because they played. And I remember Good Charlotte came on, and it was during 2003. The Red Sox were playing the Yankees in the ALCS. It was a Sunday night, and the game got rained out.
Oh man,
it was a rain out.
Yes,
so
I went to that makeup game.
Okay,
that was in 04.
So it might have been 04. Maybe it was 04.
Against the Yankees, yeah.
Yeah, it could have actually been 4-4.
Yeah.
And it was a rain out. And I remember we're sitting there, and so everyone's like, oh, the game got canceled. So everyone starts chanting, Yankee sucks. And the guy in Good Shot goes, fuck the Red Sox.
Oh, no.
Fuck baseball.
No,
We're here for a show. And everyone just went, boo. like fucking 10,000 like drunk college kid Red Sox fans. And this is when the Red Sox were like the Patriots are now.
Yes.
Like you couldn't, like, the Red Sox were the hottest ticket in town.
Yeah.
And there was such a buzz about it. And they were getting so close. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like the booze this fucking asshole got.
Yeah.
And like he goes, fuck you all. And like, let's play some music.
Bad
idea. And it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And if you watch and you looked at the show, and like you could tell the band was pissed because the crowd just started deteriorating significantly.
Guns N' Roses sucked, but I expected them to suck. So I can't say they hurt me because I didn't expect. This is when Axl just came back, and it wasn't even the rest of the band. It was just him. I called it Axl and Friends.
Oh yeah.
But you know who was good, and I did not expect them to be good because I'm not a big fan of them. But I was like, wow, they put on a great show. Papa Roach.
Really?
You know, cut my life into pieces.
Yeah.
Them. They put on a very good show.
I don't think I know any other song other than that.
I'm sure. There are. There's a few of them.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with their catalog.
Yeah, they put on a actually decent
Papa
show. I watched. Who did I
huh?
see them open for? I saw them open for a few people, and I was very shocked at how good they were live.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Me and her we seen Hall and Oates and Tears for Fears last summer.
Tears for Fears. Oh my God.
You know what? I didn't realize how many hits.
Something happens. They have a ton of hits.
Didn't realize they played all their hits. They had probably an hour session.
Yeah.
And I knew every single one of them. Songs that I knew, but I forgot they sang.
They've been covered by so many bands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you hear their music.
And, the guys were older. They're already in their 60s. And then Hall and Oates came out, and some people said they were disappointed with that show. I thought that was fucking pretty good. I mean,
really?
They played, and another thing too, like a lot of people there, like don't realize how many hits they had that they already know.
A lot.
She's like, I don't think I know any Hall & Oates song. Then we left, and she's like, oh, yeah, I knew all the songs.
Yeah.
It's like because you don't realize they play them on the radio, and you've heard them all your life. You didn't realize who sang them.
And same for Tears for Fears.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tears for Fears. Yeah, a ton of them.
And I would actually, you know who?
Yeah.
You know who I was disappointed with? Actually, I remember is I seen Steely Dan, the winter before the guitar player died. So this had to be. This was like, so the Red Sox won the World Series in 2013, right? So this was before that. So this had to be like January of 2013.
You like it in the classics, huh? I like it. I dig it.
Well, the bands that are out there, you always want to see them play, but the guy's going to die soon. So this is one band I actually got to see before the guy died.
Oh, nice.
And we seen him, and the guitar player was so old, like he was sickly, that he played the entire time sitting down.
That says something.
And like he got up for like a few songs and like went jamming on there, but like the lead singer, like I think his last name's Fagan. He plays the piano, so he was sitting there anyways. And then the other guy got up and he was playing guitar, and he like it looked like it was a struggle for him to be on tour. He ended up dying like 6 to 7 months later. But like it was like they sounded good, but there was just really no entertainment value. It was like I was sitting in front of my computer listening to him. You know what I mean? But
You know who Sebastian Bach is? Not the composer, the rocker.
Yeah, isn't he in was it Monty? Not Motley Crue. What band
I
was
forget
in?
what he was in, but I saw him perform. He opened for Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, he didn't even know what state he was in. I swear to God, on the back of his guitar, it probably said Boston. Like he probably wrote Boston because he's like, "What's up, Boston?" Like,
Yeah, you remember that commercial from years ago, and the guy's like, "Hello, Cleveland," and they're like, "We're in Detroit."
oh yeah.
You want to get away? I think it was a Southwest commercial.
Yeah, it probably was.
But you know what? I don't know. You look at it, it's like some bands make a career out of just playing the hits, and they can go on forever.
Yes.
And then people get so used to the hits that like when they have a new album, they try to play it. People are like, ugh.
Nobody cares.
Like, ugh.
Ugh.
Like someone I know went to go see Sting a few years ago, and
He's getting all experimental.
he had this experimental thing when he was using like a flute or some kind of like prehistoric instrument, and he did a whole album using this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he proceeded to not play any Police songs
Oh.
and just play everything off his new album.
What
with
an
the
asshole.
flute. And people are pissed because it was like at the Garden. It was like people paid a good amount of money for this fucking concert.
Just play the hits.
I mean, if
man.
I'm seeing Sting, I'm hoping to hear Roxanne.
Yeah.
Even if it's a fucking slow down, clubby version
Or
of
Message
Roxanne.
in a Bottle.
Or
You
Message in a
You gotta
Bottle.
hear all that shit.
Even if it's like a loungy, kind of like folky version of the song.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, playing it, and it's not the full rock version, but it's still kind of like a, interpretation of the song.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah, that's what I hear it. Yeah.
I would still want to hear that. I don't want to hear him fucking whistle on a flute. Oh, people were pissed. And that ticket was going for like $100 and something too.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac's another band I would like to see.
Really?
I think because now that, but see, unfortunately, they haven't been touring as a full fivesome in the last like 10 years. Every time they tour, one person doesn't want to go on tour. So right now, I think it's who's the chick, Stevie Nicks. She's not on tour with them.
Yeah.
And then before it was Christina McVie. She wasn't on tour. So you lead vocal. It just I don't know. I feel like you need to get the whole thing intact.
The Eagles were also in town this weekend.
They did. Mine.
They
You know,
were.
that's a band I wish I seen before. Was it Glenn Frey that died?
I don't know. I
He
think
was
so.
the guitar player. Yeah. I guess his son now is filling in.
Don Henley there?
Don Henley
He is there with him?
drummer / lead singer.
Yeah.
He died?
No, he's alive. He still plays. Most people don't know he was the drummer though.
I did not.
Not many bands have a drummer.
I
as a
more
lead
so know him
singer.
for that song he did with his solo project, Boys of Summer.
Oh yeah.
The girls, Boys of
See, my
Summer.
my favorite
have
solo
gone.
project from the Eagles is Glenn Frey's "The Heat Is On."
Oh yeah, that's up there. Yeah, that song could be. You could probably trick somebody. That's a Kenny Loggins song, though. It's like it just has that.
He was
that-
very Kenny Loggins. In fact,
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins might actually wrote it from. Funny story about that song since it's brought up. When I got arrested many years ago, my ringtone for my BlackBerry was "The Heat Is On."
Nice.
So every time I got a text message, you heard do 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 do.
I think it was in Beverly Hills Cop. That song.
It probably was. So every time you get arrested, they take away your stuff. So my cell phone was taken away and was put in a locker. So like the holding cell was probably the holding cell and the check-in point was the size of this apartment. It wasn't big, and the cells were kind of small. So you could throw a ball to where like my locker was, right? So it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So people are blowing me up, wondering what the fuck's going on, if I'm like out or whatever. So my phone is going off constantly, and every like 10 seconds I hear it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god. So all of a sudden a fucking cop comes up to the gate. He opens the door of the cell and he gives me my phone. He's like, shut this fucking thing off. He's like, if I hear the heat is on one more time, I'm going to throw this thing against the wall. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's it. Dude, I'm like 100 text messages.
Oh wow.
Every time I hear that, I always think about being in jail for the night.
Oh god, that would drive me insane.
I think he wrote that for a movie too. I don't think that was like part of an album. I think it was like remember in the 80s, like Kenny Loggins made his career of writing songs for movies.
He did. Oh god.
He was like the Will Smith of the 80s. Will Smith, every movie's in, he does like a song for the movie, right?
He was like to the 80s what Phil Collins was to Disney. Like Phil Collins, I think, was on like 5 Disney soundtracks in the early 90s.
Like every time there was an 80s comedy, they would go, Kenny, I need a song. He's like, Footloose, put on. And then
he is the Top Gun. Top Gun, he is the entire Top Gun soundtrack, pretty much. I think he's got 3 songs on it.
I think he has more than that. I think he has. Like, I think that I actually own the Top Gun soundtrack
I think
because
he's got 3 songs
I
on
bought it because I was really deep into that song, "Take Your Breath Away."
Dun, 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 dun,
I don't know why,
dun, 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 dun.
but I like that song. It's from Berlin. They sing it, and I bought it.
Really? Are you kidding me?
It was 2004.
What the hell? hell? Are you serious?
It was on spring break, and I made the boys listen to the Top Gun soundtrack all the way home from Florida.
Did you sleep with somebody to that song or something?
No, I just kind of was digging it. I was feeling the vibe.
All right.
And it was before iTunes, where I could just download it. And I didn't want to buy the whole Berlin CD because I wanted
Just wanted that one song, man.
I wanted Highway to the Danger Zone too, because that was on that album.
He did a book for the company I work for.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins?
Yeah, I never met him.
Highway to
I kept harassing my boss though because when is Kenny Loggins coming to the office?
Yeah.
Adam, Kenny Loggins is not coming into the office.
Kenny Loggins is the most, I would say, underrated 80s icon.
He said he's going to redo Danger Zone for the Top Gun sequel. I don't know if I believe that though.
And the Top Gun sequel, briefly, I didn't hear much on this. What's the premise? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I don't know much detail.
I heard Goose is. Goose is dead. I heard Val Kilmer's coming back.
Yeah, he's probably happy he's getting a paycheck.
Tom Cruise is coming back.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is the main character.
And I'm trying to think in my mind how they will do this. Are they going to be retired?
No, I've heard multiple stories. I think originally it was supposed to be like he is now like kind of how drones are taking over, and he's like one of the last people to still be a fighter pilot, like kind of like that kind of thing. How technology's changing. I don't know, but now I have no idea what the story is. I think it might have changed.
Well, Val Kilmer's going to be happy. He doesn't have to do gay porn anymore. So
I know. He happy he gets a paycheck.
Yeah,
you know.
He's fat too.
He had cancer. I think he lost all the weight.
Did he have cancer?
He had some weird throat thing going on.
Jesus. Speaking of cancer, apparently today Jim Kelly's cancer is gone for the second time.
Okay, Carey or Kelly? Which
Jim
one?
Kelly, the quarterback.
Okay, I think it was Jim Carrey at first. And I was
like, no. The guy that you guys were making fun of during the Buffalo Bills shuffle.
Quarterback, yes. Well,
and you're just yelling old Bills players out in the back, and every single person in Buffalo hated you guys.
Yeah, well, good for him.
Yeah, well, yeah, good for him, I guess. And I guess it makes that Epsi thing, the Epsi Award thingy. He was that
oh jeez,
it doesn't mean anything anymore. He had like a hot I have cancer. I guess you don't have cancer anymore.
That's true.
Did you see the Epsis at all?
No, I didn't.
It was on rerun last night, and it was on when I was at work. How'd you feel about those 100 girls coming out who got touched?
I did not even see that.
So they had. What? So I'm getting kind of really sick of Allie Reisman. I think she's becoming annoying now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the gymnastics people, the girls. Yes, I know all about that. Yeah. I know all about it.
And like, it wasn't just it was like people that were touched like over the years. Like every single girl he touched, it was like 200 and something girls came on stage.
She's from the South Shore. She's from Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, she's annoying. Okay, I understand you coming out because you got touched, great and everything. Now she's making a career on being touched.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's like, come out and say it, write your memoirs and call it what it is. The guy's in jail. Now you it's like a tour. Like you're going on tour telling people about how you were touched.
It's true.
It seems kind of like a contradictory.
It does. You're trying to gain fame.
You're making a fame off of you being a victim instead of just being a victim and coming out and letting people know. And most people who will come out, there's no closure. Well, there's closure. This guy's serving 2 life prisons.
I know.
Sentences, rather.
Yeah.
So there's closure now. So now you just kind of, you're going to try to drive this train as far as you can?
True.
I mean, if I was touched, Michael touched me in Italy when I was a kid, but I never said anything.
Some more.
He was like a fucking what do they call it, beatbox. He was like a beatbox before beatboxes were even invented.
He was.
And if I got diddled, right, I would probably tell too many people, and if I did, I wouldn't want to be famous for being diddled.
No, not at all.
So people are gonna forget this girl actually did gymnastics for that one season in the Olympics, and just remember her being the girl that got diddled.
You're right.
Yeah. Like the girl who the Amber Alert is named after, right?
Yeah.
Now every time you think of Amber Alert, you think of a kidnapped girl.
It's true.
You don't think of some girl.
You're right.
Named Amber.
I 100% agree with you on this one.
And now every time I see a girl named Amber, I go, "Oh,
missing?
She's stolen."
Stolen. Yeah.
I had a joke I did a stand-up joke a while ago, and I was like, "What's the deal with Amber Alerts?" I go, "Does every girl get kidnapped named Amber?"
Oh my God!
Well, right, Sue.
Yeah. Well, on that note, exactly.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. She seems to be impelled with the experience.
Oh, Sue, what condition did you have, by the way? Remember all those bites you had and stuff? They're gone?
I think it was just bites or an allergic reaction.
Cool. Yeah, an allergic reaction to...
I meant to ask you that last week, and I forgot.
Yeah, the itching finally went away after a couple of days.
Yeah, I used...
What?
It's a special lotion.
Special lotion.
You can use it if you want it. You
creamy.
just gotta milk it yourself.
Boy.
Nola's nipple juice we used.
Ugh.
Nola looks at me sometimes and she goes to me, she goes, Daddy, I wish I could have babies, but you took away my uterus. I have these 8 nipples and I have nothing to do with them.
Ugh. Imagine having that many nipples and have nothing to do with them.
I know, and you can't cover them up. She lets me rub them, though. Nola, you like when I rub your nipples?
That's fucking weird.
Did we talk about Nola's fight? Did we talk about it
did.
last week? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it happened last week. That's before the show. That's right. She was dripping blood over me. So, if you guys enjoy this show, this is that time of the day we meaninglessly plug. You want to plug your TV show?
Oh, of course. You can
YouTube
check
channel.
out The Whirlwind Potato on YouTube and also Whirlwind Reports, one word,
The Whirlwind Potato. You better watch it, in a cool room because it might become baked.
Ah, I see what you did there. That was good.
Fucking Whirlwind Potato, guys. And the Whirlwind Report.
Potato.
Also, thepacky.com. And if you like this program, please subscribe to it on YouTube or iTunes and leave a comment. And check out The Wicked Explorers. We have a new episode on YouTube for you to enjoy. It's a long one. It's like a 40-minute one. Ugh.
That's a long time. I didn't say, I said, oof, that's a long one.
40 minutes of me.
40 minutes.
Just fucking 40 minutes of fuckery, put it that way. We'll probably be on next Monday since I'll be leaving the state on Wednesday.
I should be able to
So
make
we
it
should
also.
work that out for you guys. And I contacted another YouTube celebrity named the Nomadic Fanatic, who is just left New York 2 days ago, and he's heading to New England. And we invited him over. So maybe, hopefully, he's in the area. We can invite him over. We can give him a meal. And we can have him on the show as a guest.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. His name's Eric. He has a dog named Jax. I mean, a cat named Jax. He lives in an RV.
Oh, God. she was like, this sounds very familiar. It's Adam the Woo.
It's basically Adam the Woo. It's a different version of Adam the Woo. It's not Adam the Woo.
So you have the patience of a saint. I'll give you the credit.
Hey, at least I'm not inviting Adam the Woo over.
I'm gonna have to give dinner to this person.
Well, I think it would be a nice thing to do. The guy drives in an RV all the time.
That's true.
I could have said you have to give sex to this person, but I'm not offering that. I'm not
it's a do sex.
honeymoon in Vegas.
No.
Your boy Nick Cage.
I don't do sex.
Yeah. I don't do sex. Tommy might though.
Yeah,
Right, Tommy? Like he's all smiles.
He would know.
Definitely.
So I'll keep you posted on. I emailed him the other day, and I'll see what he says. That'd be cool. Imagine.
That would be. That would be cool.
I want to see the inside of the RV.
Do you really want to? What if you go
No.
in and it's like, yeah,
I don't actually.
if you live in that thing, you know there's a funk. Probably you walk in that door and it'll just waft with a smell. It's just body odor.
Alex Wallace says you got a sunburn and hyenas. I don't know if he's trying to make a funny, or maybe he's just saying that's what Susan had, a sunburn and hyenas.
Oh.
And I want to know who this random Jennifer O'Connell who just popped in to say teddy bear
it's
love.
just an emoji of a was it a squirrel or
a
a
bear
chipmunk
or
and a
a
heart?
hot. Yeah, maybe she
Hey,
likes
well,
you.
cool.
Maybe she's one of your Tinder's ladies.
Yeah,
You
okay.
swipe right and I'm on the radio tonight.
Oh, one of your secret Tinder ladies.
Yes. No, my ladies come on Grinder.
There are no ladies on Grindr, are there? Isn't that a gay thing?
No, but no, for a side subject, we get some. So do you know Grinder will find the location of the guy next to you too?
That's messed up.
So if you're like, no, you swipe right on Tinder or whatever, Bumble. If you do that on Grinder, it has it'll say like, oh, so and so is literally in the same coordinates as you. He could be in the same bar as you.
Okay.
I don't know, I guess if you're gay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if they're more deviant.
I mean, gay guys are just like regular guys, except they have sex with each other instead of girls.
But if you put two guys, because they still are still technically men, I feel like men are more deviant.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, so they'll just there. It's just ugh.
I feel like guys having relations are just like guys and girls having relations, except usually the guy's the deviant one, like you said. So like if you have two deviant guys, they're having sex on a booth in a restaurant while it's still open, which has happened. I've kind of witnessed that before. I pretended I didn't, but I seen something, and I'll leave it at that. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No.
If that's what you want to do, by all means, knock yourself out. Just wear a rubber. And I'll say that to my heterosexual friends, too. Wear a rubber.
Yes.
You know, maybe that's why Eric got ghosted, because he used a bag.
Why he got ghosted is because he used one?
Maybe she's all about no bagging.
And that's why Eric got ghosted.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of excuses.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least he didn't leave mid-blowjob.
True.
That's never a good thing.
No.
Remember that, kids. Don't leave mid-blowjob. It's bad for business. With that, we'll see you guys later. Toodaloo. Bye.